is a part of the country that could definitely use the rain, but it's also going to make for a very wet track tonight here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Watch the run. Watch the run. It's south, baby. That's baby south. Switch.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And that's not the start that he was looking for. Behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Greg.
Mike 55.
Here's Newton. That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And, Charles, this defense, they know that they've got their work cut out for them. Here's a quarterback coming off a game in which he threw 4 touchdowns. And they've watched the tape all week. They've seen it, but what can they do differently?
I think they've got to approach it like a pitcher facing a really hot batter. Get him uncomfortable in the box. Change speeds, change locations, change the pitches you throw at him. So show different coverages. Blitz sometimes, drop back other times. Just don't let him get comfortable or let him get into rhythm.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 2nd and 8 coming up.
We own them. 20.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They snap it to Newton. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and this defense holds on the night's opening drive. So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Rodgers. That'll be caught by Cup. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Trying to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defense.
Touchdown, L.A. Cooper Kupp, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. But no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. 5-3 their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter.
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
4 yards remain for 2nd down. They fake the give. Newton. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And down to the 11. A big play there for the Niners. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. 2nd and 7.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Back to throw, Newton. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. They got to get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Newton now to throw. And this is caught by Smith. Touchdown 49ers. Jonnu Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind.
If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
At the Niners, 39-yard line.
7-7, our score after one.
7-7.
On play action, it's Rodgers. That'll be caught. It's Cup. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 16.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. Gonzalez's kick is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2? Win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Check 55 to mine. Check 55 to mine. Let's go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Room here to run. Touchdown, L.A. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Rams are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First and 10 here. You know, think about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. They'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Newton on first down. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6. Right there, 55. Watch the run, watch the run. Mike.
Throwing again is Newton. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Newton now to throw. Got a man, it's Patterson complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. From the red zone now, Newton. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And the 49ers are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Now it's Newton. He'll buy some time right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Rams are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On play action, Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Taylor's got the first down and more. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A big play there for L.A. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 23. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now to this point. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out, but I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the...
And shutting him off, now open field. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, 49ers. Well, for a tight end, he can definitely motor it. He shows off the wheels there after the catch as he's able to shake free.
Yeah, normally when you talk about tight ends, you immediately begin talking about them rumbling down the field. But to me, he was pretty well gliding downfield there. Very athletic for a big man, and he takes this one all the way to pay dirt.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They run once more with Taylor. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocking.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's got some space here. The 30. 10. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This take it in at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right? And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. That was one I kind of saw coming, Charles. He had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means a free safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners, and they divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder, he can go from side to side and make plays on the football as he did there.
First down, Los Angeles.
First and 10, Taylor now. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Rodgers. Throw left side, complete to Harry. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Rodgers. That's going to be caught. And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll look to run with Taylor. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Taylor. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Rams add on to their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. To return, here's Agnew. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play.
And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play there for the Niners. Well, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Rams are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. It got his man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there for L.A.
Even with the big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 2nd down, another run with Taylor. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Rodgers going to throw. Touchdown, Rams. Tommy Trimble, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Newton. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. That caught by Trimble. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Sam Hubbard that time coming through defensively with reckless abandon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down, here's a run with Hubbard. And he'll get this one down to about the 27.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for third down. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A shotgun snap for Newton. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. Desperation time. Newton, fourth down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Los Angeles, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.